This podcast is brought to you by The Senior Techie, a source of information for seniors and others about technology. There's this idea of a snow day, right? That feeling you get when everything just
It's
stops.
sort of permission to do nothing.
Exactly. But the Senior Techie, they challenge that. They argue that being stuck indoors, whether it's weather or, mobility, it's not a limitation. It's actually an opportunity.
It is. It's a complete reframe. And I think the first hurdle they point out is this myth about the hardware.
Oh, absolutely. The idea that you need to go out and buy some big, expensive VR headset,
Right. And strap it to your face. It's just not true.
which is a huge barrier for so many people. But the reality is the processing power in, say, the tablet you're holding or on your computer, it's already more than capable.
You don't need all the peripherals. You just need the right web address.
Yeah.
The Senior Techie suggests that your browser is, well, probably the most underrated travel tool you have.
So where's a good place to start?
They recommend Google Arts and Culture. It's not a slideshow of JPEGs. It's about spatial access.
Okay, so take something like the Metropolitan Museum of Art. What does that look like?
So they have something called the Met 360-degree project. And the point isn't just to see the art. You can actually float through the Great Hall. You can stand inside the Temple of Dender completely alone.
With no crowds.
No crowds, no walking. All of those physical barriers are just gone.
That accessibility is a game changer. What about other places?
Well, if you look at the British Museum, the experience is a little different. It's more contextual. Their Museum of the World project isn't a map of a building. It's a timeline.
I see. So you're connecting objects across time, not just walking past them in a case.
Exactly. It adds a layer of understanding that you just can't get by being there physically.
Yeah.
But, a fair critique of these virtual tours is that they can feel a bit solitary.
Right, you lose the buzz of the museum, the chatter.
That's where the National Museum of Asian Art does something really smart. The Senior Techie highlights that they offer free, docent-led tours.
So it's live, with a real person.
Yes, a live video interaction. You're not just clicking arrows. You're asking a guide questions in real time. It turns it from a passive tool into a social one.
Okay, so we're moving from just looking, from observation to actual participation.
And that's where the snow day idea can get really productive. This is the time to shift from being a tourist to being a student.
But I think a lot of people hear student and they get a little stressed out. They think of tests, of grades.
Well, high school trauma, yeah. That's why the Senior Techie points to AARP Senior Planet. The classes are designed specifically for older adults. Tech skills, health, finance. But the most important feature is what's missing.
No tests.
No tests. It's about learning for competence, not for a credential.
But what if you do want that kind of academic rigor?
Well, the access now is just staggering. You can use a platform like edX to get direct access to courses from MIT, Harvard, Berkeley.
For free?
For free. The Senior Techie suggests edX is great for, harder skills, modern topics like AI or investment strategies. But if you're more into the humanities, they suggest looking at Coursera.
And that has content from places like Duke in Michigan.
That's right. And for more casual learning hobbies and such, there's always YouTube. Channels like Crash Course or even Skillshare if you want to finally master a new cooking technique.
It's really democratized learning.
It has. But there's one last tool the Senior Techie mentions, and I think it might be the most profound one.
And that is?
Google Earth.
But not for tourism, right? Not
Yeah.
for looking at the Eiffel Tower.
No, exactly. This is for what you could almost call time travel. It's not about seeing where you want to go. It's about seeing where you've been.
So using it as a memory tool.
Precisely. The Senior Techie frames it as a memory retrieval device. You can zoom in on the street view of your childhood home, the park where you had your first picnic.
It's an emotional tool. That's powerful.
It is. And they even suggest ways to enhance it. Dim the lights, put on some music from that era, or even better, screen share with a family member and narrate the memories together.
Turn the technology into a campfire for storytelling.
You got it. It really shows that the technology is just a conduit. Whether it's art or a lecture or your old street, the goal is always engagement.
So here's something to think about. If you could revisit one place from your past right now or learn one subject you never had time for, what would it be? Because the tools are already right there in front of you.
Just waiting for you to log on.
This podcast was brought to you by The Senior Techie. It's available on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify. If you'd like to keep up with their newsletters, you can subscribe for free by going to theseniortechie.com.